Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being patient. And welcome to our Honko service. Those of you in person, also joining us via Zoom, and then anyone joining us for the first time, a most warm welcome to you. We will begin with the ringing of the kansho, and then followed by sambujo, hyobyakumon, and shoshinge. The words are either on the screen. Shoshinge you can find on page 33 in the purple service book in front of you.
Naman nuts, naman nuts, naman nuts, naman nuts, naman nuts, naman nuts. On this occasion of the annual observance of Ho-On-Ko, Shinran Shonin's memorial service, humbly adorning the altar here at the West Los Angeles Buddhist Temple, and together with ministers and members, sincerely recite the sacred scriptures of Amida Buddha's primal birth in solemn observance of Ho-on-ko. In humbly reflecting, Shinran Shonin was born in Kyoto in 1173. He was ordained and became a Buddhist priest at 9, and practiced and studied Buddhist teachings while on Mount Hiei. However, he couldn't discover the path of liberation from birth and death. At the age of 29, he descended Mount Hiei, hoping to meet Honen Shonin, and eventually came to entrust himself to the primal birth, reciting the Nembutsu. Later, when he was 35 years old, due to a persecution of the Nembutsu teachings, he was stripped of his priesthood and exiled to the Echigo region. Then he took the name Gutoku, which means stubble-headed, foolish one, which expresses he is neither a monk nor a lay person. After being pardoned, he moved to Kanto region, spreading the Nembutsu teaching to the people in the area, and began writing his great work, Kyogyo Shinsho, through teaching, practice, and realization of the Pure Land Way. He later returned to Kyoto and completed many writings, including the collection of Wasan. In 1263, at the age of 90, he was born into the Pure Land, fulfilling his lifelong wish. Through the efforts of Shinran Shonin, we are able to encounter the teaching of the primal birth and follow the path to the Pure Land and the attainment of Buddhahood. On this morning, we gathered here at our temple to hear the teaching of Amida Buddha's primal birth as clarified and transmitted to us by Shinran Shonin. Let us deeply entrust ourselves to Amida Buddha and recite the name of the Buddha to express our gratitude and appreciation for the Buddha's benevolence for settling our birth in the Pure Land. I, Shak Koho, humbly recite the name of the Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. 敬って大慈大悲の阿弥陀如来の尊念に申し上げます。本日ここに西羅風仏教会釈広報うやうやしく尊伝を称言し、無縁の問診とともに年頃に商業を読受して宗祖親鸞上人ご正気法恩公を言収いたします。謹んで尋ねますと、親鸞上人は1173年、京都にご誕生になりました。9歳の時に出家得度なさり、比叡山で学問と修行に励まれましたが、生じいずべき道を見出すことができず、29歳の時、山を降りられ、元空上人に会われて、本願を信じ、念仏申す身となられました。その後、35歳の時、法難により、越後へ流罪となられてからは、自らを愚徳と名乗り、非僧非俗の仏道をお示しになり、赦免の後は関東の地へ移られて、伝道教化の生活を送りつつ、ご本殿の戦術に力を注がれ、浄土真宗の教義体系を確立されました。そして晩年京都へお戻りになり、三条和山などの数多くのお商業を表されましたが、ついに1263年、御年90歳で往生の疎開を遂げられました。今、私たちが愛がたい本願念仏の見教えに合い、往生成仏の道を歩む身となったことは、これひとえに親鸞上人のご苦労によるものであります。この上は、このご荘園を機として、我々が阿弥陀如来に救われていく道をお示しくださった、宗祖親鸞上人のご遺徳を偲ぶとともに、誠の見教えに合わせていただいたご恩に報謝させていただく次第です。敬って申し上げます。南無阿弥陀仏。南無阿弥陀仏。 人年自然魔根流無常主生が長発見大具で五行私有死生十十世名所門日報不法無量無変更無下無体公園の上官に知恵子不断なに無所故初日学校小人生一切群上無故所本願名号症状後死死信用願に上等学書大涅槃死滅道願成就如来所以公出世説弥陀本願会五辱悪事群上会お信如来如日後納発一年期愛し不断煩悩徳涅槃凡上逆法再永入養修死入会一味摂取信仰上昇後異能水波無明暗本内心道死運無上不真実信人天異如日光不無下妙無暗逆心謙虚大狂気即応超絶語悪種一切全幕本部に問心如来偶然が仏言古代証言者善人名踏んだりけ弥陀仏本願念無邪見教満なく修上信行十字人に南中市南昔インド最天使論へ中自治騎士こそ現代諸公聖書意妙如来本で起き釈迦如来如がせ一種五妙難天寺龍樹大寺出頭せ質の大波無権鮮烈大乗無常召喚義事小安楽賢治南行六六信行異行指導楽弥陀仏本願 主主徳子蓮華同世界即昇進如発祥時有本の人間人類入生時恩におげ本師論乱両天使上皇乱消菩薩来三道ルシ十条教凡上専用気楽法天人菩薩論中下報道因果見性が方言猫ゆたり少女心唯心に枠伝本部新人法承知承知即涅槃必死無量光明道小有修上回復家同社結晶道南書唯明星の活入万伝自力変言種円満徳語合戦書三風三神経音語増末法滅道品一生増悪地具で死安如外称名化全能六名仏所意公愛上三陽逆悪公明明語敬因ね介入本願大智慧行者小樹今後心表記一年相応用意大と逆三に即小小市場ら原神公開一内教偏見安女会一切先導修士反戦に法家二度小弁流極重悪に唯勝負化薬剤非摂取中煩悩証言水不見大非無権上昇が本資源空明仏教連民伝幕本部に新宗教書公編集戦略本願具悪性小児輪年へ決地義上位昇進即入弱上無意な一致心にの入仏教大に修士と上祭無へ極上苦道独自主愚道心唯化 Namandats, 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 namandats.
Okay, now I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Reverend Kodo Umezu. So Reverend Kodo Umezu was born in Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. He received his BA from Ryukoku University in Kyoto in 1973 and his MA from the Institute of Buddhist Studies in Berkeley in 1976. After arriving in the United States in 1973, Reverend Umezu served at the Fresno Betsuen Buddhist Temple until 1976. He served in the U.S. Navy from 1976 to 1980. He then served at the Los Angeles Betsuen and Buddhist Church of Oakland before being reassigned to serve as the executive assistant to the bishop. I'm sorry. Let me start over. He then served at the Los Angeles Betsuen and Buddhist Church of Oakland before being reassigned to serve as the executive assistant to the bishop in 1996. In 2005, he was appointed as the interim director of the Center for Buddhist Education. He became the full director in 2006. In 2012, he was selected as bishop of the BCA and served for 2 terms until he retired in March 2020, right when COVID hit. He is currently serving as the president of the Jodo Shinshu International Office. And before I call Reverend Umezu, I do want to introduce his lovely wife, Mrs. Janet Umezu. Would you please stand? Okay, welcome her. Okay, now, Reverend Umezu.
Namandam, Tsunamandam, Tsunamandam, Tsunamandam. The great practice is to say the name of Amida Tathagata. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Good morning, everyone. I don't know, I should say happy Hoonko. It's a memorial day for our founder, Shinran Shonin. This Hoonko is the time to go back to the original meaning, original message of Shinran Shonin. You know, Shinran Shonin, of course, none of us met him. He lived 800 years ago in Japan. But in Japan, in the country of Japan, somebody did the research on Shinran Shonin, non-Buddhist. You know, Waseda University did the research. The research was, in the history of Japan, who was the most written about, the book. Somebody did the research. So many famous individuals in Japanese history. People know many names, but who was the most studied or written about? And they found out, to their surprise, it was Shinran Shonin. And Shinran Shonin say his books about this, the graph like this, second person is like this. Shinran Shonin was like this. So that much, he was that much paid attention in Japan, even in the world. So currently, I'm serving as the president of Jodo Shinshu International Office. So I have privilege to visit the different groups in the world. I know I've been to Europe several times. They have many small groups, not the big, but the small groups. And last October, I was able to visit Taiwan, and people in Taiwan, non-Japanese, Taiwanese, native, not the native, but Taiwan people, they were so happy to hear Shinran Shonin's teaching. But they don't say Namo Amida Butsu. They say Namo Amitofu. The pronunciation is a little different. Same Chinese characters they use, but they pronounce it Namo Amitofu. But the teaching itself is, same, and they are so happy and grateful that, they could hear this wonderful teaching. Anyway, the passage I read, the great practice. Practice means Buddhist practice, okay? The great practice is to say the name of Amida Tathagata, meaning to say Namo Amida Butsu. Wait a minute. I understand it could be one of the practices. For many people, they think it's one of the practices. But Shinran Shonin, he said, saying the name Namo Amida Butsu is the only practice that you need. Wow, you need to think about it. How about Zen practice? How about marching from city A to some place? But saying the name of the Tathagata Amida is the great practice. That's where we need to spend time to find out. Okay? Why saying the name is a great practice? Why we are asked to say Namo Amida Butsu? Why not something else? To be a good person or to do a good deed, be more kind and compassionate. This is the great question given to all people. We have this. We have whatever you may call. And we use this, right? We use this to decide what is right, what is wrong, what is needed to be done, what's good for the community, what's good for me and my family. We use this. And this is being questioned. This is being questioned. We think this is great because we are well educated. We have so much knowledge, right? We do not stop and pause and pay attention to our great ancestors been saying, including founder of this temple. By the way, this year, the 100th year anniversary for this church. 1926, first Buddhist gathering first Buddhist gathering took place in this area. They used to call Sotel Hoakai gathering, Buddhist gathering. So now, 100 years later, we are here and listening to what they were listening to. The value that 800 years ago, Shinran Shonin revealed, now we need to pay attention. Shinran Shonin said, the most important job of us is to hear the words coming from true and real. I was raised as minister's son in Japan, and I was second son, so it's a spare tire. And the Japanese Buddhist temple system, eldest son takes over the temple. So I was like a spare in case something happened to my brother. And my dad, sometimes, time to time, shared his appreciation of Dharma with me. When I was like 14 years old, I remember him asking me a question. And the question was, what's the first number appeared in this world? Have I asked you that question? No? What's the first number? You are smart people. What's the first number? Wrong. Incorrect. What is it? No. According to my dad, the first number appeared in this world is when you have only one, you don't need a number. What was it? Even the movie series, Superman movie. They don't say Superman once, just a Superman. Then the second one, they say Superman 2, right? But first one is always Superman. Nintendo Switch 2, but they don't say Nintendo Switch 1 at the beginning, right? They just say Nintendo Switch. But now 2, and so the first number, according to my dad, his study, number 2 is, so in our mind, 2, right or wrong, kind of 1 or 2, in the binary system, 0 or 1, 0 or 1, okay, instead of 1, 2. 0 or 1, yes or no, right or wrong, good and bad, that is in here, right? Then the right and the wrong, how do we decide? We have our own measuring tape developed in our course of history of life. So everyone has a different, everyone is living in a different world. Everyone is looking at the same thing. My dad said, I and the world I see are interconnected like this. It's not like this. I and what I see are like this. So this determines the value of this. This decides this is good or bad. This is right or wrong. But this itself is always changing, not reliable. What happened here? But we are not aware of this, this law of causation. We see our world like this. I am here, world is there. Then what happens? Right? Easiest way is get rid of that guy. That's how we act and react. So if we do not bring in the light of wisdom to this kind of existence, we are constantly dwelling in this world of A or B, samsara, birth and death. Birth and death means world of suffering. Birth and death, world of birth and death means world of right and wrong. So we are very, we think we are great. And that is creating all these issues and problems within one's own life, the one's world, this nation, and those things. So the question is, okay, knowing that, can we erase our data here? Can we eliminate? Can we reset this? Unplug it. Shinran Shonin really understood the Buddha's intent. Why do not ground ourselves on this and use this as a base for practice? If we use this as the base for us to find a way to liberate this from this, the true and the real, sustaining all beings, expressing its desire. This great life itself is expressing its desire to make us realize the condition that we are living out of compassion, not condemning or criticizing individual, understanding, truly understanding why we act the way we do. Okay? So not saying, Umezu, you are no good. But the other side, the true and the real realm, understands with the tears. Some ministers I admire, I like the expression of gas. You know gas, right? What's gas? Greed, anger, and stupidity. Three poisons, or three defiled, base mind, passions, controlling our behavior. And one of my teachers said, the expression that we use, we have gas, is wrong. We have gas is wrong. He said, we don't have it. If we say we have it, it implies that we could just get rid of it. He said, we are the gas. We don't possess, we don't hold gas. This is gas. Gas is taking the form of the self. That's what my sensei said. Wow. So nothing will come out from gas. Has to be recognized as gas. Then you say, oh, I better not explode. Begin to see oneself in such. So, great practice is not to deal with this. It has to receive the kind, compassionate words. Leave that as is. Just say Namo Amitabha, meaning you are okay. You know, you're okay because you are the way you are because of zillions of years of, your path to this point. You think the way you think, which is different from your neighbors, your spouse, your family, and your friends and teachers and government. Your way of thinking is unique. But that's not to be condemned or criticized. It's just sad that we have to live with this. But to live with this, giving us the bigger, warm embrace and hug, the big life itself is truly understanding each individual's difficulty, knowing how we are, and understanding and accepting. And the Shinran Shonin was touched by the heart of that great compassion. So he was able to understand other people's difficulty. The many teachers, when they read a newspaper or child killed parents, and my teacher said, that could be me. If I'm in the same situation, I might have done the same thing. It's not, he doesn't say, that action is terrible. I mean, it is bad, you don't want to see that. But I or he said, he himself is no different from the person that you think as terrible person. Because we have all the potential seed. We could end up doing some things that people condemn, right? Depending upon situation and condition, circumstances. So, but once you touch, if you are touched by the great compassionate light, you begin to see yourself as such. Then the new life begins. You are still you, okay? You're still you. You're carrying everything, the garbage and everything. But it's understood. It's understood and accepted. Not asking. The big world is not asking us to change. Just come. Don't worry, come. As you are. As you are. I like this expression. I'm a retired minister, right? And one teacher said, Amida Buddha retired. Amida Buddha retired. What? What do you mean Amida Buddha retired? He said, Amida Buddha retired after making a big boat called the Namo Amida Butsu boat. Now, Namo Amida Butsu is Buddha. So, Buddha's wish has become the name, Namo Amida Butsu. So, Namo Amida Butsu is coming to us, taking us on the boat, the ship. Come on, it's okay. Even if you have that kind of thought that I can even share with you. Even if you have that kind of, feelings and thoughts, it's okay. Come on. My boat is big. That's called the Mahayana. Mahayana. No exception. Oh, you're thinking of something. Oh, no, you cannot get on board, No. Come on. No condition. Because I know all of you. I know you. Don't worry. Just come. Thank you. So we are able to get on board. So some people say, oh, we are all saved. No, we are not all saved. The medicine or boat has been made. We need to get on. We need to get on the boat, okay? So we are in the world of our own shell, egg, and we don't see outside, but from outside, Namu Amida Butsu is coming, and Namu Amida Butsu is assuring our safety and our future, So this Namu Amida Butsu takes the egg, So here, whenever I come here, I see Mr. Shohara's face. So I talk about his old days story that was shared by Shinobu, Mrs. Shinobu, what's her name? Matsura. So anyway, I'd like to ask my wife, my executive assistant, to come up to the front and share the story, if you don't mind. You don't mind, huh? Okay. Okay.
The story is called Old Suitcase. There are 2 students rooming at my house. 2 sons of such distinguished families as theirs, the room must seem a very modest one. Once a storeroom, the space was renovated into a comfortable room for these 2 University of California freshmen by their parents and relatives, who came all the way from Fresno, weighed down with carpentry tools and equipment. I was touched by this show of affection, and without a word of complaint from them, we have lived happily now for 2 years. Last fall, I noticed that an old suitcase was being sent back and forth between one of the boys and his parents, perhaps 2 or 3 times a month. I did not even notice it at first, but its regular commuting caught my attention, and I asked what it contained. He smiled widely and said it was full of laundry. When his dirty laundry piled up, he mailed them to his mother in this old suitcase. A bit shyly, he explained that his mother washed the soiled clothes, ironed, and returned them. When I heard that, Nembutsu came to my lips. Yes, parent and child. Only to parents can anyone send his dirty laundry without hesitation. I can see his mother, between daily chores, cheerfully and happily washing the laundry, ironing, placing them neatly back in the old suitcase, and the father carting it to the post office to mail back to his son. Full of happy anticipation, they make a rare and beautiful sight. Since then, each time the suitcase arrived, I was filled with warmth. I remember, too, when I was young, I would return home every Saturday afternoon with my gift to my mother, dirty laundry. I can see even now my Okasan cheerfully washing it. I feel a bit of misgiving that I did not return her kindness. One day, while sipping coffee with this student, I told him, I always thanked that suitcase. He was puzzled and asked why. I expressed my feelings. Through your mother's love, I have become aware of the Buddha's compassion. In this busy life, it is within the Nembutsu that we were able to throw out our defiled heart and have it washed clean. We tend not to be aware in our humdrum daily lives that we are allowed to live in the great compassion. So I went on in my long-winded way. Sei's eyes shining. He nodded. Oba-san, I understand. Thank you.
Mr. Sei Shohara, when he was going to school in Berkeley, and I also know his father from Fresno, so it really touches my heart. Buddha's side and our side, our dirty mind is understood and bring it home, you know. And that's the reason why I just say Namo Amida Butsu. So what the Buddha is saying and what we hear, if these two match, said Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. If we doubt this, we are not one with the Buddha. Different experience. Some years ago, my wife and myself and Amy, we are in Fukuoka, Japan. We wanted to, while we are in Japan, we want to eat different kind of food, different type of food, you know. So we didn't want to eat, in Fukuoka known for ramen, and we wanted to taste the ramen, but we don't want to make ourselves, you know, filled with ramen. So 3 of us went to a ramen shop. We ordered 1 bowl of ramen, and 3 of us taking turn and eating ramen out of 1 bowl. Owner of the restaurant felt sorry and gave us more food. We should have explained to them our intent. You know? Our intent and what they see are not matching, right? So Buddha said, just Namo Amida Butsu. You know? Oh, I think we need to, beside Namo Amida Butsu, we need to do something else. Then you are not really understanding. When the Buddha said, just say Namo Amida Butsu, thank you, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. When we are touched by the great compassionate heart and mind, the new life begins. New you, you know, new you starts. And that's the time, you know, when you change, the world changes. Okay? So that doesn't mean you don't care about things happening in the world. You yourself become the first one to appreciate the Nembutsu teaching, and your joy itself will be transmitted to people around you. And gradually, more people begin to hear and appreciate the essence of Nembutsu teaching. And one of my favorite minister scholar, Daiei Kaneko Sensei, he made a wonderful statement. I'd like to have my wife once again come up and read the passage. It's a short one. Okay?
People who are well educated but do not know the Buddha's primal vow are ignorant, for they do not have eyes to see the eternal truth. How sad it is that people not knowing the true light are regarded as our leaders guiding the world today. People who are smart and wise are wanderers if they do not practice the Nembutsu, for they do not know the real depth of the human karma. How dangerous it is these people are regarded as intellectuals in this society.
Senseis care about the world, you know. It's not just the individual's security, but thinking of the wellness of all beings, that the deep wish of sharing the Buddha's wish for all. So Namo Amida Butsu is a Sanskrit word, but the translation is taking refuge in the immeasurable wisdom and compassion surrounds all beings, you know, around this throughout the world, throughout the time. So we are very fortunate to hear the sound coming from outside of our cocoon or shell. So thank you very much for gathering here for Shinran Shonin's Honko Memorial Service. Shinran Shonin's putting his hands together and gashoing and appreciating your presence here. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda. 1分間だけ、1 minute in Japanese, Sensei said the Japanese message for 1 minute. So, 仏様の願いというのは私たちにこの条件をつけないわけですね。こうしたら救うとか、ああしたら救うとか、そういうんじゃなくて、そのまま帰ってこい。で、私の好きな先生の言葉にこういうのがあります。 信心も喜ぶ心もなけれども、そのまま恋の親の呼び声。信心も喜ぶ心もなけれども、そのまま恋の親の呼び声。親は帰ってきてほしいんです、ね。もう分かってるんです。こっちに何もないのがですね。何かお土産持ってこいとかそんなことは一言もおっしゃらない。もう分かってるから、汚い格好でいいから帰ってこい。それを願っておる世界が私たちをいざなって、私たち命終わる時には殻がポンとはけてお浄土に往生させていただき、そして次から来る人をまた導いていくことができるわけであります。お浄土に帰る人生、それを私たちは聞かせていただいて、親鸞上人ありがとうと合唱させていただきたいと思います。本当にようこそお参りくださいましてありがとうございました。ナマンダウツナマンダウツナマンダウツナマンダウツナマン。Thank you, my executive assistant and Connie.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend Umezu and Mrs. Umezu, for your Dharma message this morning. Next, we will have the reading of Ryogemon.
Please join me with hands together as we recite together Ryogemon, words of understanding of our tradition. We rely upon Amida Buddha with our whole heart for the enlightenment in the life to come, abstaining from all sundry practices and teachings, and giving up the trust in our imperfect view. There is no doubt that the assurance of enlightenment comes at the very moment we entrust and we recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, in joy and gratitude for the Buddha's compassion. We also acknowledge gratefully the benign benevolence of our founder and succeeding masters who have led us to live in this profound teaching, and we do now endeavor to follow throughout our lives the way laid down for us. Ryoge Shutsugon. もろもろの造業雑種自力の心を振り捨てて、一心に阿弥陀如来、我らが今度の一大事の御所、御助け将来へと頼み申して候。頼む一年の時、往生一条御助け事情と存じ、この上の称名は言法者と存じ、喜び申し候。この御断り弔問申し訳候こと、ご解散承認ご出世のご恩、次第僧正の前時式の朝からざるご関係のご恩と、ありがたく存じ候。この上は定めおかせられる恩をきて、一語限り守り申すべく候。ナモアミダ仏、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ、ナマンダ。ナマンダ、ナマンダ。
All right, now it's time for announcements. On February the 1st at 10 o'clock, we will be having Our Lady Takekokujo and BWA Late Members Memorial Service. And our guest speaker at that time is Reverend Nobuo Miyaji, who is the Minister Emeritus, Buddhist Churches of America. Then on February 22nd, also at 10, is the Nirvana Day Buddhist Memorial Service. And our guest speaker at that time is Reverend Brian Nagata from BDK America, Society for the Promotion of Buddhism. And right after the service, and we will be having lunch that day, there is a field trip that's planned to LACMA, Los Angeles County Museum of Art, and it's titled Realms of the Dharma, Buddhist Art Across Asia. And Reverend Koya Umezu will provide commentary. So if you're interested, we will be meeting here at the temple at 12 o'clock. Grace, would you please raise your hand? So Grace is in charge, and if you are interested, she's going to get tickets. And at this time, we think it's free, maybe? Okay, it is free. Okay, so if you are interested, please see Grace by the 15th of February. Now, the flyer will be on the back bulletin board, so all the information will be there, but it should be a really nice event to attend. Now, we have various study sessions here. The first one is held on Wednesday evening from 7 to 8 p.m. via Zoom, and this is led by Reverend Takata. It's entitled Hearing the Buddha's Wish, and the next one is on the first one actually is February 21st, and a registration fee of $40 is suggested for these classes. If you can't make Wednesday, there's also a Saturday session from 11 to 12, also via Zoom, and the first one is the 24th of January, also led by Reverend Takata, with a $40 suggested donation. Now, once a month, we have our Dharma Kids program, and the next one will be February the 1st. So if you have any young children or any grandchildren that would be interested, please bring them. Now, Reverend Umezu conducts a monthly Shoshinge chanting service and also Buddhism Beyond Mindfulness. The chanting is in person only, and the BBM is in person and Zoom. Starts at 10, and the first session is January the 24th. Okay, and everyone's welcome to that. Starting the 1st of February, the Sunday matinees, Dharma and a movie, will start. Cynthia, do you know the name of the movie yet? Oh, okay. That'll be interesting. So after the movie, there is a discussion on how that relates to Buddhism, and then there's some light refreshments also served at the time. Okay, I can't see the screen. Okay. So as you know, this year we're celebrating our centennial, or 100th anniversary. And we've all received letters requesting donation for our centennial commemorative event. Now, in the lobby area, in the front here, there's a huge blank wall. And what we're working on right now is the centennial commemorative wall. And if you see the image, yes? So, sorry? Yes, I see it now. Okay. All right. So we are having a company looking into this. We still haven't finalized it, but once a donation is made, then it's $250. And if you do donate $250, your name will be automatically imprinted on a gold leaf, and it will be placed on the commemorative wall. So I think it's going to look beautiful once it's done. Right? So we're looking forward to that. Now, once a month, we have bingo at the temple. It's every third Friday of the month, starting at 7 o'clock. And we had a good crowd last night. Almost 50 people came. So the prizes were very big. And I always say, the more people that come, the bigger the prize. It's all cash prizes. So it's, like I said, it's a lot of fun. And if you can, please join us next month, third Friday. All right, then we have some merchandise for sale. Our t-shirt, temple t-shirt, which has our logo in the back, and in the front, very simply, WLABT. We have crew neck, V-neck style. They're $20 each. Various sizes are available. And then also our temple happi. And again, the same logo, and in the front in Japanese it'll say the West LA Temple. So for members, these are $80 each, and for non-members, they're $95 each. And then finally, before we end, I do want to invite everyone to lunch. I want everyone to stay for lunch because there's a lot of food. Today is Mexican, so it's a little different. And then also we want to thank the Umezus for bringing some delicious tangerine from Fresno. So please be sure, you help yourself to that. So with that, that concludes our service for today. Again, thank you all for attending. Sensei?
Before we close the service, I would like to lead us all in words of appreciation of our meal. Please join me in Gasho. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to share this wonderful meal, thanks to all the many people and living beings that surround us who make this occasion possible. We receive this meal with humility and deep gratitude. 多くの命と皆様のおかげにより、このごちそう恵まれました。深くご恩を喜び、ありがたくいただきます。いただきます。
Please join me, Gasho. Namandas, 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 namandas. Thank you for coming. Please offer the incense.